Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're at Disneyland for our May construction update. We're also going to talk about other things that are going on around the resort. So let's get going. It's another beautiful day at Disneyland, and we have some Pixar Fest stuff that is up around the park now. It's been up for a few days. We'll have a look at the center feature over here in just a minute, but I did want to turn and show you that City Hall is still under construction, and scrim has been for quite some time. No progress really going on over here. And here it is, the center feature for Pixar Fest. Now, Pixar Fest used to be a Disney California Adventure thing only, but this year for 2024, it is coming over to Disneyland as well. So you can get your photo here, looking down Main Street with this icon. I don't even know what to call it, just a bunch of characters. Last month, we reported that Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln was going to be closing on April 16th, and it has done so. The refurb calendar goes out as far as June 3rd as of the time of this filming, and it is still listed as being closed with no known reopening date. So a little bit of an extension of refurb going on here at Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. The Mad Hatter to the left is still open, as is Disneyana Gifts to the right. But as I understand it, the Disney Gallery that is inside, kind of right next to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, that is closed in addition to this refurb. So if you're looking for art prints, you're gonna have to go to either the Wonderground Gallery in downtown Disney or over to the Animation Academy area in DCA. Crowds aren't too bad this morning. It is 10 minutes before rope drop, and there's still some people here for rope drop, but not as much as I've seen as of late. So this is looking pretty good. For another video, we're just gonna go check on Rise of the Resistance's rope drop again this morning, as I like to do, just to keep you guys updated. But that's not gonna be in this video. You can be looking forward to it in another one. Before we continue on with our construction update, I came over here to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, specifically Ronto Roasters, to get me some breakfast this morning. I have to get the morning wrap. It's either this or the Ronto-less wrap. I love both of these items for my breakfast, but here we go. The Ronto morning wrap. Excellent way to start the day at Disneyland. I don't know how I missed it in my last update for April, but there's a new firework display, or rather a new way to watch it. It's called Fire of the Rising Moons, and it happens here in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Right behind the spires here is where the fireworks are generally going to take place. And it'll be the regular fireworks that they have, but there's a special viewing experience here called Fire of the Rising Moons, and there's different places throughout Galaxy's Edge to see it, but this is probably the most prominent. I don't know exactly what's involved with it, but it's not just something for, like, you know, the opening of Season of the Force. I am seeing it on the calendar even after Season of the Force ends, which is June 2nd, and the calendar goes out to June 3rd. I know it's only a day, but I'm just letting you know that I did see it past that time frame. Speaking of new firework displays, as we're walking through Fantasyland, we will talk about the new firework show called Together Forever. This is a Pixar Fest exclusive firework display that begins on April 26th, and according to the calendar, it runs weekends. That is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only until Memorial Day weekend. After Memorial Day weekend, it will run weekdays. Now, of course, there could always be projections during the week, or Disney could do whatever they want. Just at the moment, there's nothing listed on the events calendar. What that means is that it could go either way. There might be nothing. You can't really quote me on that because Disney changes their event calendar all the time. So just look at it, keep an eye on it for the dates of your visit if you are curious how that is going to work. Disney basically considers Memorial Day the start of the summer season, so that's why it goes daily after Memorial Day weekend. And of course, as we reported last month, Matterhorn Bobsleds is currently closed weekdays Monday through Thursday, just doing some weird refurbishments throughout the week and then open on the weekends. The last week of this odd schedule is April 29th through May 2nd. So starting on Friday, May 3rd, Matterhorn Bobsleds will be reopening for the foreseeable future with no intermittent closings. The Disneyland Monorail also appears on the refurb calendar for the month of May. However, it is only a single day. It is going to be closed on Wednesday, May 8th, but that's it as far as the calendar currently shows. While we're talking about Memorial Day, magic happens, goes back to 2 showings a day, 2 parades a day, I don't know what you want to call it, starting Memorial Day weekend, and that will be 3 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Now, as I've said a couple of times, just make sure you're checking the calendar for your dates, because Disney is known to change things. Those times are subject to change and all that sort of thing. I've learned after a couple of these construction updates that when I see something on the calendar, like 3 days later, Disney changes it. So I'm just gonna put that disclaimer in here, subject to change. Also starting Memorial Day weekend, Fantasmic returns. So excited. That is Friday, May 24th. Fantasmic will be back with 2 showings nightly, one at 9 p.m. and one at 10:30 p.m. Now, there's a couple of things that we need to talk about with regards to Fantasmic. And the first is that Fantasmic does offer different dining packages that are available, and Riverbell Terrace over here off to our left is one of those that offers dining packages for Fantasmic. The other is Blue Bayou, which is located back there, and Hungry Bear Restaurant, which is on the other side of the Rivers of America here, and that is into Critter Country. Now, Fantasmic takes place right here, quite a bit of it on the front part of Tom Sawyer Island there, but then it also goes through the Rivers of America. In fact, they use the Mark Twain riverboat over there as part of the performance, if you've never seen Fantasmic before. Seeing how Fantasmic, the first showing is at 9 p.m., but the fireworks are at 9:30, what if you want to see both? Well, you absolutely can, and you can actually watch them right here. You don't even need to go to Main Street. Now, those dining packages, if I remember right, the Riverbell Terrace dining package seating area is right about here. The Hungry Bear Restaurant seating area is right over here. And then the Blue Bayou seating area is over that way. And what they're going to do is essentially make sure this lower area here is reserved for those dining package guests. However, other people can watch from up here, and they'll have various parts of the walkway available for people without the dining packages, of course. But I believe the Blue Bayou ones are right about here, so you could get pretty much all the way up to this fence. And why that is helpful and something that you need to consider is that they will have projections out on the water here during the fireworks, and the fireworks appear from way back there. So when we had our Riverbell Terrace viewing right over there, I felt that I was looking to the left and then having to look to the right to see fireworks, and I just had to keep going back and forth. So if you want the best spot, I'm thinking like potentially even more down this way. If we can head down here, you'll actually get a pretty good angle of the projections on the water, which would be right here, and the fireworks there in the background with minimal amount of having to turn and look. If your idea is to watch Fantasmic first and then catch those fireworks second. Alternatively, you could watch the fireworks at 9:30 and then come do Fantasmic here at 10:30. I do understand that the 10:30 Fantasmic is far less crowded than the 9 o'clock one. But maybe you don't want to be out that late. I understand. So this is just some options for you as we look at Fantasmic returning in May. When we were here for Star Wars night, we did discover that they have widened this path outside of Haunted Mansion, which is really neat that it's not just over there that you can walk now. So they've widened the walking path through here, but there's something else that I wanted to show you right over here off to our left. They've added in this fun little corner here in the construction wall with 2 speakers and a Magic Band touch point. So if I scan here, I mean, it's not much, but it's a fun little interactive point. I think it's neat. And while it is hard to see the construction for Haunted Mansion, it is not so hard for Tiana's Bayou, and I want to show you some updates. So check this out. It's been a little while since we've actually stopped and taken a look at the construction. So we do have some trees that are up here now, which is nice. It adds some ambiance, I guess, close to the construction wall here. They have put a crown on top of the water tower. I don't know, or tiara. I don't know if that is new or if I just haven't been paying attention. Of course, the greenery on top of the mountain, but we also have some like Tyvek tarp over here on top of the roof. So they're making some adjustments to that as well. Progress is coming along, of course, but Not exactly sure still when this is going to open. The big thing that we need to watch out for is whenever Walt Disney World's open. Now, they just have said summer. They still haven't announced a date. I had initially been theorizing around Memorial Day because that's typically when they open attractions. However, we are now about a month out from that, and they haven't said anything. So in order for there to be cast member previews and annual pass holder previews, media previews, all that sort of thing, they definitely would have made an announcement by now. So it's not going to be Memorial Day. When during the summer, I don't know, but you can rest assured that probably Disneyland's will open about 4 months after Walt Disney World's. And our last thing that we need to mention for Disneyland is over here at Critter Country. Now, we spent a lot of time talking about this in April's update, so I'm not going to belabor it here, but just a reminder that on May 1st, everything in Critter Country closes except for Hungry Bear Restaurant here. This will remain open. There will probably be a wall right across the path here blocking access to the rest of the land. Yes, even this little hat store beside me, this is the Briar Patch. It's going to be turned into Rays Berets, so they are going to be doing some adjustments to the entire area. Winnie the Pooh will be closed during this closure, and currently the refurb schedule goes through June 3rd, and Critter Country is still labeled to be closed during that time frame. And once again, we have no further details about when this is going to open. I'm still ever the optimist. I'm hopeful that the large majority of the construction is just updating some gift shops, and that it won't take too terribly long, that this won't be closed until Tiana's opens. I mean, that's like the worst case scenario. It's always possible. But again, I'm hopeful that it'll only be a month or two. So maybe we'll see it open up later in June, maybe in July. There's no news. This is just me being wishful thinking, I guess. Again, the worst case scenario is that it doesn't open until Tiana's, which again could be all the way into November. We've hopped over to Disney California Adventure now to continue our construction update and to let you know what's going to be closed over here in May. What's going on here? This is strange. Never seen anything like this in the middle of the road over by Soarin'. This doesn't really impact anybody, but there's still a construction wall up over here with the Disney Vacation Club spot. Actually, it might affect somebody. I gotta check the other side. Yes, the free lockers for Grizzly River Run are still behind the construction wall as well. So if you are planning on going to Grizzly River, the lockers aren't open at the moment. That's not something that pops up on the refurb calendar, so I have no idea when that's gonna come back. Another month has gone by and the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail still remains closed. It initially went down, I believe, March 4th. I'm trying to remember that date correctly. I think it is. And it is still going to be closed through June 4th. 3 months. This makes it the longest closure for Redwood Creek Challenge Trail since it was opened. That is, I don't know what they're doing. We can, however, see that a bunch of scaffolding is up now, and I don't even see the nets that were up there, like even amidst the scaffolding. So it's possible they've ripped all that out currently. I hope they're just fixing it, replacing it. I mean, this is the first time we've seen any sort of movement going on back there. Every time we've come up until now, you haven't even seen anything. So this is all I can give you right now. Look, I don't want to start any rumors or anything, but I've got to start speculating within my own head what's going on. There's always the possibility that it's going bye-bye. Now, I spoke with David from Fresh Baked, and he told me he had it on good authority that the Avatar experience was not going there. So I don't think it's that, but, you know, at this point, you gotta wonder. The longest closure that it's ever experienced, what was really so bad about the Nets area and all that sort of thing that they needed to close it this long, unless they are completely changing what's back there? I have no idea. I was just like, what's this big, huge, long line? I was trying to walk through and there was a line. It's like the entrance got moved to the other side, but no, they moved it back. Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure, the entrance got moved back here. I see lightning lanes over there, so you can split the lightning lanes right here, but the standby is once again going through the main entrance of the attraction. We'll have a look when we get down at the other end, but while we're walking, I want to talk about the Pixar Fest Festival Marketplace booths. They have currently, well, they still have Food and Wine up. Food and Wine ended yesterday, so this booth is still up, but I did notice that some of the booths are gone already. Now, Pixar Fest actually starts on Friday across the resort, but most of the stuff's over at Disneyland. The parade will pop up over here, and we'll talk about the parade in just a second. But the festival marketplace booths do not open until May 10th here at Disney California Adventure. So even though the festival starts this Friday, well, by the time this video is out, it'll actually be that Friday, April 26th, for all the food over at Disneyland. But if you want the marketplace booths here at Disney California Adventure, that doesn't start until May 10th. Yep, the temporary entrance to Little Mermaid, which has been temporary for quite a few months now, has been switched back to extended queue only. So this is no longer the entrance to the Little Mermaid. They've put it back to the front of the park, or the front of the attraction, which is the way it should have been, because this didn't really look, very welcoming as an entrance. I knew it was temporary. I just thought they were going to do a bit more to the front than just add in some lightning lane poles. So let's talk about that parade on April 26th. Again, April 26th, that's kind of like the special magical date. And again, it'll be that date by the time you watch this video. But that's when the Better Together parade will once again return to Disney California Adventure. I should say a parade returns here. I don't know if they've ever had that specific parade before, but we have the Better Together parade starting on Friday, April 26th, and it will run twice throughout the day. Once at 4 p.m. and once at 6:30 p.m. Now, as best I could tell, it doesn't matter whether it's off-season, holiday, weekday, weekend. There'll be 2 showings a day of this parade during the festival. So Magic Happens only has 1 showing during weekdays until Memorial Day, but Better Together will run twice a day, every day, starting this Friday. Now, of course, showtimes are subject to change. The next item to appear on the refurb schedule is the Paradise Beer Garden. It was scheduled to close today, which is the day that I'm filming it, April 23rd. Again, you won't see this till the 26th. And it will be closed until May 5th. Well, according to the refurb schedule, the Paradise Beer Garden was supposed to close today. And I don't know what the beer garden is, because this is Garden Grill. Garden Grill wasn't on the list to close. In fact, they still have food and wine food offerings up on the board. Some last little remnants of food and wine. Perhaps the beer garden was the location that was right here that allowed you to purchase beer. And I guess it's coming back because it's on the refurb schedule. It'll just come back on May 5th. So it's closed from now until May 5th. And it won't reopen with Pixar Fest's start on the 26th of April, but it should make its appearance again on May 5th. For spatial awareness purposes, there is the building, there's Paradise Garden Grill, and here is the seating area. The bakery tour in San Francisco Square, originally scheduled to reopen in mid-April, has been mysteriously extended until June 2nd. Yeah, a whole month and a half extension that the bakery tour will be closed. However, the bread cart inside the land at the exit of the bakery tour, where you can buy the lovely sourdough bread, is once again reopened. So that at least is still here. We mentioned this briefly last month, but we didn't have a whole lot of information for you. Cucina Cucamonga Mexican Grill in San Francisco Square will close on April 29th and reopen on May 25th. So this will be closed for about a month. Thankfully, that's it for Disney California Adventure. We have no new ride closures throughout the entire month of May. So that's good news as we're heading into summer. Today for lunch, we're gonna come to Flo's V8 Cafe. This is a place I feel that I don't eat a whole lot, and this year, I've made a promise to myself to try to branch out and eat some foods that I've never eaten before. So we're coming to Flo's to get a new item that I've never gotten. And this is my preferred place to sit because I can watch Radiator Springs racers go by, though I hear some loudspeakers on the track, which tells me that it's probably broken at the moment, but it's still a lovely view. And the item that I ordered was Ramon's Low and Slow Club, and this is basically just a standard turkey club sandwich. Nothing special about it here. It does have a mayo with avocado sort of like sauce on it. Otherwise, it was a pretty good sandwich. I picked off some of the things that I didn't like and ate the rest of it. I enjoyed it enough, but it's basically just a sandwich. Nothing super special here. And that's it for our time here today, giving you a construction update for the month of May. May. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to check out my other videos. Just click them right here to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.